Hey guys, what is going on? Coach Sam here. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Today we've got a very important lesson, so pay attention. Today we've got Javier Baez pulled up, right? And I want to talk about something really quick before we get into the swing itself. You see coaches all the time talk about bat speed, right? Yeah, well, bat speed is an important part of your swing, but you have to understand it's only how fast your bat is moving, right? I am more concerned with bat quickness. So, bat quickness is the time it takes for your hands and your bat to get to contact. Bat speed is just simply how fast your bat's moving, right? So, you can have a bad swing but have good bat speed, right? Now, both are important. Don't get me wrong. Both are very important. But if you want to improve your bat speed and you want to improve your bat quickness, you're going to have to understand this position that I'm talking about today, right? And today we're talking about the launch position, right? So when your front foot lands, what do? What position are you in? How do you go from there, right? So here we go. We got Javier Baez pulled up. Now everyone sees that move forward, right? That's what we talked about in previous videos, how we're just moving towards the pitcher, okay? Now, a big misconception is that your head does not move, right? There's Javier Baez's head. He moves forward, and his foot lands. Everyone can see his foot's on the ground here, right? His foot lands. His head is moved forward, and it's moved down, okay? Now, if I take these lines off of here, a couple important key fundamentals, because I can show you any successful big league hitter and they're going to be in this position. They're all going to get there a little bit differently. They're all going to have their own sort of style. They're all going to have their own way to get into this position, but they all get here, right? So the fundamentals keep in mind, right? Front shoulder, slightly lower than back shoulder, so he's got this attack posture. Hands are slightly inside that lead elbow, right? So if you're looking at Javier Baez from the pitcher's perspective, his hands would not be pushed outside of his lead elbow. If they were outside of his lead elbow, then he would have the tendency to come around the ball and hit a lot of weak ground balls to the pull side, right? Angle the bat towards the catcher. We've talked about that before. Top hand slightly in front of bottom hand. So front foot's down, right? Knees inside of feet. Hips inside of knees, right? So you've got this strong triangular position going on. Everyone can see that. Everyone can see how athletic that looks. You see a lot of times coaches tell kids to keep their head back, right? Now, if I take these lines off of here and say, for example, he kept his head back. Say he kept his head back here, right, from where he started. Then his triangle would look like that. And that's what you see a lot of times with younger kids, where this would be his head. So it's important, guys, it's very important that your head moves forward and it moves down. Because there's a time for your head to move and there's a time for your head to stay still. When you take a step, when you take a stride forward, that's your time for your head to move forward. Now, once this front foot lands, right? Once this lands here, that's the time for you to stay still with your head. Okay, so that heel plant position, getting into this position, he's creating this stretch, right? He's creating this stretch between his upper half and his lower half because his head moves forward and because his upper half stays back. There's his hands. A lot of coaches will tell you to push your hands back. So that green line represents where his hands started, right? Now his hands don't ever push back. It just looks like they're pushing back because his body's moving forward. So his body, his head, everything moves forward, and his hands stay back. And that's creating the tension. That's creating the stretch between your upper half and your lower half. That, guys, is what creates your bat speed and your bat quickness, right? Allowing your body to sequence itself properly. So your hands are staying back while your lower half is moving forward. And that is how you create your bat speed and bat quickness that everyone wants, right? But if your hands come forward, if your hands were in here, somewhere in here, then you would just be pushing your hands to the ball and you'd have a really weak swing and it'd be very handsy. And that's when you would be slow, right? Your bat quickness would be slow and your bat speed would be slow. So, guys, We have to get to this position on every single pitch, right? Regardless, it doesn't matter if we're swinging or not swinging. We want to get to this position on every single pitch. Because while we're getting into this position, we're still analyzing when and where we're going to swing. If you wait to see where the ball is at and then try to take your stride and get all this done, it's going to be way, 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 way too late. Okay? And the key is to keep your momentum moving, right? Javier Baez, he gets his foot down. He's just in a very strong athletic position, okay? His hips are square to the plate. His shoulders turned in slightly just because he's keeping his hands back. His eyes are obviously tracking the pitch. Shoulders, attack posture where that front shoulder is slightly lower than that back shoulder, okay? Hand inside that lead elbow. Bad angle we talked about towards the catcher. This is where your head stops moving forward. So if I put a line on his head now and continue to play the video and he gets into his swing, his head doesn't move past that line at all, okay? So his head stays right inside of that box as he takes his swing. You guys can all see that, right? So guys, this is a critical position. You guys can start with an open stance, a closed stance. You can start with your hands high, your hands low. But if you can get to this position consistently and repeatably, so you do it every single time, right? And you do it consistently, so you can do this while you time up a pitch, you're going to have the ability to have success, right? It doesn't mean you're going to have success, but you're going to put yourself in a lot better position to have success, okay? I showed in a previous video all sorts of different crazy stances. And I can show you a ton more of different stances, right? But this is a fundamental. This is where all good hitters get to, right? This is how they deliver a 32, a 33, a 34, 34 and a half, some 35-inch bat at extreme speeds, right? Extremely quickly to contact. You know, you hit a 95 or 98, 100-mile-an-hour pitch, you have to move quickly, right? And to move quickly, you have to put yourself in the best position to deliver the barrel. And this is that position. So if we can get here consistently, the sooner you guys can learn this, the sooner you guys understand this and start implementing it into your swing, the better off you're going to be. So I wish you guys nothing but the best. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. We got new videos coming out all the time. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get back to it. Thanks, guys. I wish you nothing but the best. Thanks, guys.